Good morning. This is Pastor Bo Wagner for the Morning Minute Meditation of the Higher Grounds podcast. In 1 Kings chapter 7, you find King Solomon firmly entrenched on the throne. He's doing well and he's building. He builds the house of the Lord, builds his own house, builds a house for his wife from Egypt, builds the house of the forest of Lebanon. But he got some help doing that. He used a man named Hiram to do a lot of his work, his metal work for him. 1 Kings chapter 7, verse 13 through 15 says, "And King Solomon sent and fetched Hiram out of Tyre. He was a widow's son of the tribe of Naphtali, and his father was a man of Tyre, a worker in brass. And he was filled with wisdom and understanding, and cunning to work all works in brass. And he came to King Solomon and wrought all his work. For he did cast 2 pillars of brass of 18 cubits high apiece, and a line of 12 cubits did compass either of them about." That word cast occurs again in verse 24 and in verse 37. I was a jeweler for many years, and I used the casting process. It's still widely used to this day. Casting involves making a mold of something, and then taking metal, melting it down to where it's liquid, pouring it into the mold, and then when it is cooled and hardened, pulling the mold apart from it and seeing what's there. That's very similar to the process that God uses to mold us into the precious thing that He wants us to be. He has a mold already precast for us. It's called the Bible, the Word of God. As we allow ourselves to be softened and melted in His hands, He will day by day form us into the mold of Christ that the Word of God lays out for us. And we'll become, as Romans chapter 8 verse 29 says, He predestined us to become conformed to the image of His darling Son. So when it seems like things are getting hot and God's turning up the heat on you, the good news is He's got a mold He intends to pour you into through that. And the product that comes from it will be more beautiful, valuable, and precious you could ever imagine. This has been Pastor Bo Wagner for the Morning Minute Meditation. May God bless you today.